All right. Hello, everyone. One moment, please. All right. This is due to poor connection. Come on. Come on, internet. You can do this. No. Oh, man. Every time I speak, my Instagram live says paused due to poor connection. Why? Why is this happening to me? Mm. Why is this happening to me? Okay, 1 second. Let me troubleshoot why this poor connection is happening on my phone to Instagram. Hey, Quentin, Anaid, how are you? Quentin, Anaid, does this keep pausing? How's the connection? Can you hear me and see me? Every time I speak, it says paused and then reconnecting. Lord, hang on. It's too much for my internet to try to stream from my computer and my phone at the same time. How does anyone do this? Hey, Quentin. Yes, I remember you. I am trying to see if this is even working. Can you hear me, Quentin? Anaid, can you guys hear me or does it keep breaking up? Hmm. I might have to do this as two separate streams. This might not work. It might be too much for my internet connection to try to stream to multiple places at once. This is really sad. I see Adrian and Jesus. Hey, Adrian and Jesus. Yeah, it's the stream is working on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, but it is not working so well on Instagram. It keeps breaking up. Hmm. I don't know what to do about Instagram. It's just not working well. Well, I came on here because I wanted to. Let me see if this can help. I wanted to do a video answering some questions from some of the students who have applied for our summer program. So, right now, for After School Matters, Empower Your Story, we are getting ready to do summer program starting in June of this year. And the students who are applying to the program had an opportunity to ask me some questions, any questions that they wanted about the program or what to expect for summer. And so I wanted to make a video answering those questions, and I thought it would be fun and interesting to do it as a live stream because we've been doing more live streams in the current program, which Adrian knows because Adrian is in the current program. And we've been experimenting with doing more and more live streams for our final showcase for After School Matters and also for some of our open mic Wednesdays. So I'm trying to see if this will work better. All right. Instagram, are you still with me? Is this connection working better for the folks who are watching on Instagram? I see Jesus on there as well. Yeah, okay. For some reason, I guess if I turn my internet off, it's actually working better on Instagram. Can you guys hear me on Instagram now? Yes. Okay. We're in business. Problem solved. Let me just use my entire data plan. Not use my internet for the Instagram connection. So, hello. Welcome to everybody who is tuning in. I see so many former Power Your Story podcast students on Instagram. It's awesome to see you there. And then also, I see some current and former students in Facebook and YouTube. This is the most platforms that I've streamed to at once ever before. So, this live streaming thing is so fun. And as I was saying a moment ago to the folks watching on Facebook and YouTube, what I came on here to do is that we're getting ready to enroll some new students into our summer programs, which start in June. And on their application, they had the opportunity to ask me some questions. And so, because I asked them questions on a video and they made interview videos to tell me about themselves, I thought it would be fun to make a video answering their questions and talking a little bit more about the program. And I thought it would be even more fun to do it as a live stream because we've been doing more and more live streaming in the Power Your Story podcast program with After School Matters. And I just wanted to show, because it's kind of interesting, about half of the students who I have love doing lives. They love live streaming. They love coming on the camera, coming on the microphone, and talking to the audience live via social media. And then half of the students that I have really don't like doing it at all. They don't even want to turn their cameras on at all. And so I'm curious for everybody who's watching right now live, what do you think? Do you ever do live streams? Do you ever go live on Instagram? Do you ever go live on Facebook or anywhere else? Do you like doing that? Is it fun? Is it scary? What do you think about doing live streams? Is it cool? Or do you just like to watch live streams rather than make your own? All right, I'm trying to see I'm trying to look over my computer screen to see the comments on my phone screen from Instagram. So, all right, so enough about why I decided to do this as a live stream and what this video is about. If I did not introduce myself, I am Miss Andrea Klunder. I am the program director for Power Your Story podcast through After School Matters. And we are officially going to dive into the Ask Me Anything questions. And I have a list of questions from future student producers who are applying to be part of the program that I'm going to answer. But if you're watching live and you have some questions about podcasting or about the program, or if you are a former student who already was part of the program in a past season and you want to share anything about what you liked about the program or what was awesome about it or anything that you learned, or if you'd like to give updates about what you're doing now that you're no longer in the program, maybe you've graduated, maybe you've aged out of your high school program. So I would love to answer any questions that you have, share any things that you love about the program, and also share any updates from you. So you can feel free to put those in the comments. All right. Sorry. Just checking the comments on Instagram. I can't see over my computer lid. All right. So I'm going to go in order of the questions that came in on the application. First question that I got from a future student is, in the podcasting program, are there any kinds of topics we'll be doing, or is there a specific one? So I think the question is, do they get to pick their own topics, or is there a specific topic that we're all focusing on? And it's a little bit of both. So what I like to do is create a theme. And the theme is a little bit broad. It's a little bit vague. And then within that theme, you can choose a topic as long as it relates back to the theme. So for example, we've had themes like comedy and tragedy. We've had themes like, what do you need? What's important to you? Themes like social justice and making the world a better place. Themes like exploring Chicago. So there's been a lot of different themes. And then within that, there's so many different topics that you can talk about within that theme. I am thinking of a specific theme for summer, and the theme that I'm thinking of for summer is perception, which is a word that means how we see things, or when we look at something or someone, how do we see that? And I was thinking of this topic or this theme because we're talking about using video more often and doing live streaming more often. And that is how we show up to the world when we're on the camera, when we're on the screen, when we're on social media. People see us, they hear us on the podcast, and then they perceive us in a certain way based on how we look, based on what we say, based on what we're talking about, based on our personality. And so there's a lot of different ways that we can explore this idea of perception in the podcasting space and in the season. So that might be our theme for summer, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And then we also have what's called open mic episodes. And open mic episodes are roundtable discussions that anyone in the program can participate in, and they can be about any topic. So basically, each week we will usually vote. Students can suggest a topic that they want to talk about, and it literally can be anything. It can be serious, it can be funny, it can be lighthearted. And then we choose the one that we want to talk about, and then that's the one that we'll record that week. And that does not have to follow the theme. So that can literally be about any topic. So that was question number 1. Then the next question. I am just wondering how we would do podcasts in this program. Would we make our own and share them out, or would we listen to some and share our opinions on them together? Great question. The answer is both. So we do a little bit of podcast listening in this program to past episodes from our show, from our student producers, and also other shows that exist out in the world. Part of the reason that we do this is because I love podcasts so much, and you can learn so many things and be entertained, and it's free to listen to. And so I love for students to be able to discover podcasts to listen to in their own lives. And also, we listen to get examples and ideas of how other people are making podcasts, and that can help us get some ideas about what we like, what we don't like, what we think could be better, and that helps us learn how to make our show. So yes, we will be listening to podcasts and talking about them in the program, but more importantly, we will also be making our own episodes and sharing them out, whether we share them out in real time like this, like a live stream, or whether we record them and then they get shared out later on in the year. Let's see. Will the program be on Google Meet? Yes, the summer 2023 program will be meeting online via Google Meet. And so that is going to be a virtual program. Next question. How did you become interested in podcast and production? Do you currently work in the field? The answer is yes. So teaching Power Your Story podcast is one thing that I do, and I love teaching. I love working with students. I love sharing how to make podcasts and giving students an opportunity to express themselves. But I also have my own podcast production and consulting company called the Creative Imposter Studios. And what we do at the Creative Imposter Studios is that we actually work with companies, businesses, and nonprofit organizations to help them make podcasts, to connect with their audience, to tell stories about what they do. And we also do consulting, so we help them learn how to make their podcasts better and better and better. So yes, I do currently work in the field. And how did I get started? It's kind of a long story, but let's see if I can make it short. So I used to teach yoga, and I had my own yoga studio. So that was a business that I owned in Chicago, and it wasn't going so well. I was not making a lot of money, but I had a lot of students who liked the way I taught my classes, and they said that I should start a podcast. But I didn't even know what that was at that time, and I didn't really have time to start that, so I kind of put it off to the side. And then I closed my yoga business because, like I said, it wasn't doing very well. So I closed that. And I started thinking, what do I want to try to do next? What do I want to do next? And this idea of a podcast was in my mind. And by then I had started listening to podcasts that people recommended to me. And so I thought, maybe I'll start a podcast. And I figured out how to do that. I found some tutorials online. I knew a little bit about producing video and audio because that's what I studied in college. And so I had a little bit of a background in that. And then I learned some new things, got a microphone, all that kind of stuff, and started creating my own show. And then people started hiring me to help them make their shows. And so I just kept learning and learning and improving my skills and improving my skills and getting better. And so that is how I got started. Next question. How do we get paid? So if you've never been a part of After School Matters before, you might not realize that students who get to participate in this program do earn compensation. For this program, it is in the form of a stipend, which means that it is a fixed dollar amount for the whole season, and you earn your full stipend if you attend all of the classes. So you're allowed to miss, I think for summer, for online program, for my program specifically, I think it's 3 times that you can miss. It might only be 2, but if you miss more than that, then it's going to affect your ability to earn your stipend. So you do want to make sure you show up every day and you participate every day, and then you do earn compensation. And you can get paid in one of 2 ways. So if you have your own bank account already, you can set up direct deposit. So 3 times during the course of summer, you will get a deposit made from After School Matters to your bank account, and it will automatically show up there. That is something that you have to set up in your After School Matters application dashboard. There is a place to connect direct deposit. You'll need a form from your bank and your banking information to set that up. And someone from your family can probably help you with that. So that is one way. I think that's the best way if you do already have your own bank account. If you don't, then you'll get a card in the mail from a company called Wisely, and that is a debit card that has a credit card logo on it. And so that means that every time you get paid, that amount will be added to that card. It is a prepaid debit card, which means you can use it online or in person, anywhere that takes credit cards, but it will only allow you to spend the dollar amount that's available on that card. And so that is the second way that you can get paid. So direct deposit or from a prepaid debit card through a company called Wisely. The next question is, what kind of fields? I'm not 100% sure what that question is asking. What kind of fields, I think, might be asking what areas can you go into professionally after you study podcasting? And there's actually a lot of different fields. So we think of podcasting a lot of times as being the person who's talking on the microphone, which is the host. The host of the show is the person who's talking on the mic in a podcast, and that is one direction that you can go. You might have your own podcast. You might like the technical editing skills and using software and computers. And so you can also become a podcast editor. It's a great way to earn a living, and you can do that either independently with your own business, or you can do that by working for another company. You could become a composer if you're somebody who makes music. You could create music for podcasts. You could become a designer. You could go into marketing. I have one student who is graduating and going to college at UIC this year, and she said that she is going to minor in journalism, inspired by the podcasting program, because she realizes that she loves learning how to use media to talk about issues that are important to her and important to society. So there's a lot of different skills that we learn, from technical to podcasting specific to communication and leadership and how to tell good stories and how to use media. And so there's a lot of different fields that you can go into from podcasting. Next question. I would like to know if the podcast will air on YouTube as well. The answer is yes. So any live streams that we do will go to our Power Your Story podcast YouTube channel, and our final showcase at the end that gives you a sneak peek at all of the episodes that we created in the summer season will also be on YouTube. And then eventually the episodes that we record in-house during the season will get edited and published to YouTube. And it does take a little bit of time for me to finish editing them and get them published. I'm a little behind on that. So that takes a little while, but anything that we do live will immediately be available on YouTube. And that is a great place to find podcasts. Are you going to choose one person or group podcast to be uploaded, or is everyone's podcast getting uploaded? So generally everyone's gets uploaded eventually. It's just a matter of it takes a little bit of time after the program is over for me to finish those episodes and get them uploaded. But yes, any live streams will be live immediately on our social media platforms. And then the episodes that we create in the season will typically get uploaded unless there is a problem with the audio file, which, knock on wood, that doesn't happen very often. Next question. What is your favorite type of podcast to listen to? I am a super podcast fan. That means that I listen to podcasts every single day. Throughout the day, I listen to a lot of different shows. And there are some shows that I listen to for fun. And there are some shows that I listen to because I want to learn something. There are some shows that I listen to because I listen to them for work, that I'm trying to research something or find out about a specific type of show. So there's a lot of different shows that I love to listen to in a lot of different genres and a lot of different areas. And in general, my favorite podcasts to listen to are podcasts that are entertaining, meaning that there's something about them that captures my attention and makes me want to listen more. So these are podcasters that are good at storytelling, that are good at teaching, they're good at making me imagine things or think about things in a new way. And those are typically my favorite types of episodes to listen to, or my favorite types of shows to listen to. Also, I love for them to sound good. So shows that don't have very good recording quality or they're not well edited are not my favorite shows to listen to. So I like shows that sound really good, that the creators have put some effort and some thought into how they want to make the show, and also that they are entertaining and I can learn something new and it can engage my imagination in some way. The next question, where would the field trips be to? That sounds exciting. So every season we have an opportunity to take field trips. We don't always get to do them because they can be a little bit challenging to coordinate, just because our students live all over the city of Chicago, as far north, as far south, as far west, not as far east because then you'd be in Lake Michigan, but our students live all over Chicago. So finding transportation and finding a central place where we can all meet that is free for us to meet can be a bit of a challenge when you have a bunch of high school students. So I love to do field trips when I can. Some field trips that we've done in the past is that we've done pizza parties at the end of the season. We've done field trips to the Chicago Cultural Center, to the StoryCorps booth at the Chicago Cultural Center. We've done field trips to the Shed Aquarium. We've done field trips to comic book stores. So basically, wherever we can think of where we can interview somebody or record an episode about something or learn something about podcasting, that's where we'll generally take a field trip to. And if you get into the program and you have a suggestion for where you think we should go, I am open. What made you get started getting into podcasting? So that's a little bit about what I was talking about a moment ago, which is that I was interested in podcasting. I needed to figure out what kind of business I wanted to have so that I could earn money to pay for my life. And podcasting was something I was interested in. And so that was something that I decided to try. And what I love about doing it is that it's a great way to have a form of expression. I love podcasting because I get to make decisions. I don't have to wait for somebody else to tell me what I can and cannot do. And I just think it's such a cool field with a lot of really cool people that work in it, that it's a really fun industry to be in. The next question that I have from a future student is, what would a typical day in this program look like? And that varies a little bit. We have a structure in our Power Your Story podcast program. So, a typical day in the summer session. So, summer session is condensed, which means there's more hours in the week, and the class is a little bit longer than it is during fall and spring sessions. So, in the summer session, we meet for about 2 hours a day, 4 days a week online. This summer is going to be Monday through Thursday, and we're going to meet for 2 hours. And so, when we show up, we usually have a playlist playing on Google Meet that the students curate, and then everybody gets into the meet. We start off with a question of the day. This is a question to get our creative juices going and start thinking about things, and everybody can chime in with whatever the question of the day is. Then we'll do a check-in on an emoji scale of 1 to 10 to see how everybody's feeling and just kind of take a general mood check and energy check of everyone. Then we will usually do some kind of, or we'll go over our agenda. So what is it that we're doing today? We'll do some kind of community builder, which could be an exercise, an activity, a game, something that helps us get to know each other, something that can help us build certain social skills. And then usually it's about time for a break. At that point, we do get a couple of breaks during that 2 hour window. Then we come back, and when we come back, we'll do whatever our content is for that day. So that might be listening to podcast episodes and discussing them. It might be brainstorming ideas for what we want our episodes to be. It might be a skills building workshop where we'll be going over how to do something, and we'll be trying to do that. Or later on in the summer, then it might be a recording session where we're going to go ahead and we're going to record one of our episodes. So it just kind of depends on what we're focusing on. Sometimes you might break out into a small group, and then sometimes you might be doing something together with the full group of students. And then at the end of the day, we'll do something that's kind of a checkout activity that we call Awesome and Amazing. And it's a way to shout out what we're proud of about ourselves in the day, or what we see that we want to acknowledge and shout out in another student. And that's kind of how we close. So that is what a typical day in the program looks like. We will laugh a lot. We'll tell stories. We'll have serious conversations. We'll do silly things. We'll learn things. It's a big combination of a lot of different things. Next question, what personality traits are you looking for in a teen who enters the program? The main thing that I am looking for when I'm looking through all the applications that we got for this program is I am looking for someone who is curious about things and someone who has interesting things to say, interesting ideas. I'm looking for somebody whose personality stands out to me, somebody that I watch their video and then like a few hours later, I can still remember what they talked about in their video. So maybe they told me a story about a group experience that they had. Maybe they told me something about what makes them awesome that really stands out in my mind. So I'm looking for somebody who's curious, who asks questions, who wants to learn things, somebody who is motivated, and somebody who has something to say, something that they want to talk about. Those are the main traits that I'm looking for. I'm also looking for who can complete what they need to complete, who can finish their application, who can ask for help when they do need help. And then the little more nuanced thing is I'm also looking at who is going to be an interesting mix of students. I don't want all of the students in the program to be exactly the same, which I know no one is really exactly the same, but I don't want everyone, for example, to go to the same school or the same type of school in the same neighborhood or have the same background or the same gender or the same ethnicity or the same experiences. I want there to be a mix of students who have different types of personalities and different types of experiences who I think will complement each other and work well together. So those are some of the qualities and characteristics that I'm looking for in a student for this program. The next question, how long have you been working with ASM? It's been about 5 years that I've been working with ASM, maybe a little bit longer than that. And about 5 years. So we're getting ready to do season 17. So every year we have 3 seasons. There was a little bit of a stall out there during COVID. So there was a couple of seasons that got missed, but we're on 17 seasons. So 17 divided by 3. Yeah, we're a little over 5 years. We're working on year 6 right now. And why did I create this program? I created this program, first of all, to be honest, because I needed money and I had heard of After School Matters. I knew that it was cool and I liked the idea of teaching. And I thought that this would be a great addition to my business to help me earn money. I thought this would be a great addition to my business to help me earn money. And specifically, why I thought it would be great because After School Matters has a really good reputation. And like I said, I love podcasting. I love working with young people. I get inspired by what younger generations of people are doing, how they're thinking. I learn new things all the time, every time I work with a new group of students. And it's just a really fun thing to do that is super rewarding. And I think that's it. I think we got to the end of all the questions that I received from the student applications for the summer season. So if you submitted a question, thank you so much for asking. If you do have any questions, you can always email me. And my email for After School Matters is andrea.clunder. So that's my name at asmprograms.org. So feel free to ask any program questions there. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the live. It was so great to see some of my current and former students on here. That was super fun. I see some comments on, sorry, putting my hand over this video. I see some comments on Instagram that remember being students that remember being in the program and saying that they had fun in the program and that it was really awesome. So thank you for saying that, Quentin. And let me see if there's any other questions that came in. I don't think so. I think that's it. So thanks once again for watching. And if you're watching the replay and you put any questions in the captions, I'll try to answer those as well. But I thank you so much for applying to the program if you've just applied. And I will be sending updates soon. All right. Bye, everybody.